There was this boy who ate nothing but yogurt all the time. Everyone tried to reason with him but gave up. He was taken to sages and monks, but he wouldn't listen. The more they tried to explain, the more he found joy in his yogurt, which was completely. It's natural. When you forbid something, curiosity just grows. Tell someone, don't peek inside that door, and suddenly it gets even harder not to look. But then you end up peeking anyway because, well, people are curious. When you want to show something to others, you try to hide it. But you hide it in a way that makes it obvious you're hiding something. Then people will come running. You know how in movies when they want to call all kids but write adults only on it? All the younger boys will still show up, pretending to have mustaches for $2. If it's for adults only, then people feel like they must go. There's definitely something going on. The real prohibition only happens where something is actually going on. Advertisers write, "Don't read right on their ads, please don't read this." Then how can you move on without reading it? How will you move on? Saints, monks, and gurus have explained so much about how bad yogurt is. They even cited big Ayurvedic texts listing all its harms. But still, the popularity of yogurt kept growing. Finally, an old man was brought to him, probably old like me. What did he say? He said, "Son, never stop eating yogurt. It has great qualities. It's like a medicine worth 1,000. Yogurt is medicine. Even the son was surprised because no one had ever said that before. Everyone they went to was against yogurt. If this old man was sane, he'd admit it was bad since it did cause trouble. Because of yogurt, he kept catching colds and fevers. He was still young but was starting to weaken. People kept warning him about yogurt, but the more they explained, the more stubborn and prideful he became. He listened to the old man carefully and said, "What are you saying, sir? Yogurt has great benefits. It's like a cure for countless diseases, a miracle medicine. Ramban, so don't ever forget or ignore it, no matter what." He told him to hang in there. The guy asked, "So tell me, what are these good qualities?" Because he had heard plenty of bad things. He never met anyone who told him about any good qualities. The old man said, "What kind of qualities? It's all qualities. Like first, anyone who eats yogurt never gets robbed." The young man was surprised, thinking, wow, that's quite a quality, that yogurt eater never gets robbed. Second, anyone who eats yogurt never drowns. He looked at the old man, wondering if he was crazy. What does yogurt have to do with drowning? And third, anyone who eats yogurt never gets bitten by a dog. He said, "Are you even sane? What kind of stuff is this?" Still alive, which scripture says that? Where in Ayurveda is it written? Then the old man said, "Listen, anyone who eats yogurt never really grows old." The young man replied, "I've heard from many wise people, but you seem to have a different kind of wisdom. Please explain it to me in detail." Hearing this, the old man said, "Look, it's pretty clear. The whole point is simple. Someone who eats yogurt coughs all night long. How can thieves break into their house? That's why yogurt eaters never get robbed. They suffer so much from the cold that they're afraid to even go near water. How could they possibly drown in a river? And the guy who eats yogurt becomes so weak that he has to walk leaning on a stick. How will a dog bite him? And the guy who eats yogurt dies young. How will he grow old? Son, eat lots of yogurt. They say that the day that young man stopped eating yogurt was the same day. I'm telling you the same, eat lots of yogurt. Then you won't get robbed, no dog will bite you, you won't drown, and you won't grow old. The only way to get rid of desire is to truly understand the pains caused by desire. And the only way to understand those pains is to consciously dive into desire. That's why I'm telling you about desire. Don't fight, don't run away, don't stay awake worrying. The day you truly understand how meaningless desire is, that day your whole life will feel pointless. Then, when death comes knocking, you'll be able to thank it. What's there to complain about? Death is freeing you from all the chaos you've been stuck in. Death isn't taking anything from you because you never really had anything in your hands to begin with. So you'll embrace death, you'll welcome it. And the person who can truly welcome death, for them death becomes the gateway to liberation. But until you've finished exploring the world, how can you start searching for God? My friend, you haven't finished exploring the world yet. They keep holding you back, not letting you dive into your own life and experiences. They just snap you off like an unripe branch. You never get to fully mature. You can only find God when the world feels completely meaningless. Deep down, truly meaningless. When you realize that there's nothing in this world, that's when you'll start searching for another world. As long as your mind is stuck here, thinking maybe there's still something left to find, like, I haven't searched enough yet, or I haven't seen it all yet. You won't move on. People are still searching. Many streets remain unfamiliar. So how will you find God? The basic meaning of searching for God is realizing the futility of the world. It's proven by your own experience. Then you can call it God, or salvation, or nirvana, or truth, whatever name you want. But the search doesn't really begin before that. There are so few true seekers of God in the world because there's a lot of deceit in God's name, and naive people are misled in the name of religion. People's greed is stirred up using God's name. Greed can't just be gotten rid of. It's actually encouraged. Your scriptures mostly keep telling you that if you let go, you'll gain a lot. But when someone lets go to gain more, they're not really letting go. If you let go of 1 rupee but expect 1,000 in return, have you really let go? You've made a big deal out of it. You let go of 1 rupee but arranged to get 1,000. So your attachment is exactly the same. You haven't changed one bit. Even your God ends up being false with you. If you're dishonest, your God becomes dishonest too. You're just not truthful yet. You haven't really taken a proper look at the chance you've got in this life. So first of all, I'd say, really examine it closely. This opportunity is precious. Don't just waste it away. Don't throw it away on useless things. Don't lose it over some nonsense. This is your life. Live it fully. If you feel anger rising, then feel it completely so that the pain from anger becomes clear. So clear that it becomes hard to get angry again because of that clarity. If you have work to do, dive into it, but dive so deep that you really get lost in it. There's no magic formula out there, no shortcut you can grab. If you're chasing money, no harm in that, go ahead, run fast. Nothing's stopping you. But if you jump into the race without caring about money and become some kind of saint, you'll still end up running after money just the same. No real difference there. If you're into politics, then fight the elections. Jump right into that chaos, go crazy with it. But if you bail halfway, you're not really in it. What's the big deal? If you listen to the wise folks who say, politics isn't worth it, and then you don't get involved, sure, you might become a saint, but your life will always be a political one. You'll just sit there comfortably, but politics will still be inside you. Real change in life comes from experience. It comes from change within, not from outside changes. People have made a lot of changes on the outside in the name of religion. I've heard a Russian story once. A crow was flying really fast. A bulbul saw him and asked, "Uncle, where are you going?" The crow said, "I'm heading east. It's become hard for me to live here." The bulbul asked, "Why?" The crow replied, "Everyone here objects to my singing. I don't sing. I never started singing in the first place." People start complaining. Hey, stop the nonsense, just stop it. Stop it everywhere in every village. There's no freedom to sing here and everyone objects to my songs. The coal asked, "But just leaving won't solve your problem." "What will going east do?" the crow asked. "Why?" The crow wanted proof because until you change your voice, even the people in the east will object to your singing. The eastern folks won't like your songs any more than these people do. It won't make a difference. You need to change your voice, your tone. Changing your situation won't help. You need to change your mindset. Got it. There was this guy who was really stuck. He hadn't quite freed himself from family life yet, but he'd renounced the world. Now, even after renouncing, he was going to start a new family life. The guy had kids, a son and a daughter, but he lost touch with them. So he'd get just as attached to his disciples, male or female. It wouldn't make any difference. The cuckoo was right when it said that nothing would change by going east, uncle. People there would complain about you just as much as they do here in your village. The reason there are so few true seekers of God in the world is that there are way too many fake seekers. And being a fake seeker is pretty easy. No real change is needed, but you still get the thrill of pretending. You don't even have to be religious. And about being religious, that feeling and ego, immature people are like unripe fruits picked from trees. They haven't had the chance to ripen yet. I'm telling you, stay an atheist if atheism feels natural to you right now. There's no need to be religious yet, the time hasn't come. What's the rush? You're still immature, so ripen first. The day atheism falls away on its own and you feel ready to accept life, that's the day to become religious. Don't do it before then. Otherwise, a fake believer ends up worse off than a true atheist. At least a true atheist is honestly an atheist. A true. At least whatever's inside a person shows on the outside too. Most people are atheists deep down but act religious on the outside. They go to temples, bow their heads, pray in mosques, but inside there's no real prayer, no real bowing of the head, no true devotion. Deep down, they know where God is and all that, but it's just formal. Doing these things has its benefits. People see them as religious. Their business does well. They need to get their daughter married or help their son find a job. If people find out the truth, the son won't get a job, and the daughter's marriage will become difficult. People come to me for help. They say what you're saying is totally right, but the girl still needs to get married. The son still needs to find a job, just hold on a bit. What you're saying is absolutely correct, but let us sort things out first. Otherwise, there'll be trouble, inconvenience. We know what you're saying is right and what we believe seems wrong now, but we're not giving up just yet. We'll go through the formalities for now. People like this are religious only on the surface, just for show. It's a kind of social thing, nothing to do with true religion. That's why searching for God is tough. It's not an easy path. Climbing a mountain isn't like going down into a valley. It's like rolling a stone off a peak. Once you give it a push, it keeps rolling down on its own all the way to the valley. But if you want to get a stone asterisk up the mountain, just rolling it won't work. You have to pull it. You'll get tired. You'll be drenched in sweat. It's complicated, tough, unreachable, and dangerous. And the higher you go, the harder it gets, the heavier the burden feels. Reaching the top takes real guts. Searching for God isn't a job for cowards. And most cowards are the ones who claim to be God-fearing. That's why finding God isn't happening. Searching for God takes guts. And I'm not even saying just courage, it's gutsy because you have to give up a lot. To gain something, you've got to lose something. You have to risk a lot. This won't happen easily or conveniently. Only those who have the courage to dedicate their whole life like a nail driven in can do it. The problem is the path is tough and the destination isn't certain. Where it is, if it even exists, nobody knows. East or west, who's right? Buddha, Mahavira, Krishna, Christ, there are 1,000 different options. The destination is far away, hidden in the fog, and the path is really tough. You can see just a few steps ahead, then the way disappears into darkness. That's why those who truly understand the busyness of life, and who know that even if God doesn't exist, it's still worth searching, keep moving. Because just sitting around in life gets you nowhere. Life's already been wasted if you do that. So get up, start moving. Now's the time to take a chance. You've got nothing to lose. If you find what you're looking for, great. If not, you haven't really lost anything. There was nothing to lose anyway. You've already lived life, read through all its pages. There was a lot of struggle in the search for truth. I was reading a small incident. Mother Teresa, a Christian saint and an extraordinary woman, is one of the few women in the world who have reached such heights. A few women like Mira, Sajo, Dea, Lala, and very few others have done so, and Teresa is one of them. Once, Teresa was crossing a drain. By mistake, her foot slipped, and she almost drowned in the flooded drain. She got injured in her foot, sprained it, and her skin was scraped after falling on the stones. Maybe even a bone was broken. She was old, too. Somehow, she managed to cling to the edge and lifted her head. I got up and said to God, looking up at the sky, "Hey, Lord, is this how you treat me? Is this how you deal with me? Is it right to just leave an old woman like this, fallen in the middle of a drain? I left everything to God, and the one who gave me everything could have at least spoken openly like this. Is this right? Is this how you behave?" Then I heard a voice from the sky saying, "Sometimes I treat my friends like this too, but I'm just sorting them out. This is how I treat my friends." God's voice echoed, "Yes, exactly like that. Sometimes I act a certain way with my friends. But with enemies, God is very kind, always ready to forgive. It's much harder with friends because God tests them. Friends are put through trials. Why test enemies? They are already lost. He has mercy on them. But with friends, the pressure builds as they get closer to their goals. He tests them, puts them through challenges. So God's voice said, "Sometimes this is how I treat my friends." Then he said, "Listen up." Then no one. No wonder you have so few friends. You ask why God has so few followers. That's because God tests people a lot. But only a brave woman like Teresa can say something like that, so listen to what she said. That's why people end up sitting alone. You don't even get companions because when you do, you end up bothering them instead. Now, tricking an old woman like that, causing her to fall and break a bone, that's just not right. A person should have some manners. You don't even care about that. But all this was said out of deep love. That's the point.